getting back on the road soon after so long. How's the energy?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, for me, definitely it's a surreal moment in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think our levels of energy are like sometimes unbearable, kind of control. We're in a room together, trying to get like these set lists together and whatnot. We're like, is this real? Like, is this happening? Like, we're gonna dip out for a few months and do this one more time. So, really exciting. Very grateful. Yeah, really lucky.
And it's the perfect time to do it as well. Like we had that whole thing in 2020, and we all know what happened with the world there. And, we couldn't go out and do things. Was that a little bit of the realism kicked in that, hey, you never know what's going to happen on this earth with this life? Should we get out there and just do it one more time? Should we feel this energy? Because there's a lot of people who are fans that would have never have got the experience to see you guys live. Because I think 2017 was the last tour. That's getting on 8 years now, which feels like a flash. Like life goes by a bit too fast sometimes. Like, what was the reason behind getting back together?
I mean, I think that we all agreed that it was like a need versus a want, more of a need than a want. Yeah, I know that me personally, expect COVID for sure, but just like life in general has revealed itself to be fleeting, and much more fleeting than I think I've ever recognized. So yeah, to your comment and your point there, like that certainly holds weight in my decision personally. But I don't want to speak for everyone, but I do know that we have discussed the need to do this versus like just like, oh, we kind of let's see what happens. It's more so like, yo, I need this to happen.
Yeah. No, take it away. Take it away. I'm curious to what you all think about it because everyone has a different opinion. It's kind of like, getting back together or, seeing an old friend for the first time. I'm always curious how everyone's mindset is. So, yeah, take it away, boys.
Yeah, I feel like, there's been a lot of time just for, life experience and growth and as people and as friends too, but yeah, there's definitely like a calling to play Let Live and to experience the fans and the live shows and everything that comes with it. And also, like you mentioned, like there's a slap in the face and the realness of life and how short it could be. And it's better time than any to, share with the world.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's kind of funny at the same time, or it's match made in heaven, maybe the Warp Tour coming back and you guys kind of joining that. It's almost like the stars aligned for you guys to kind of get back together for this thing. How was that feeling when the invitation or the opportunity came to join, the reunion of the Warp Tour as well?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy, right?
All this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, our relationship with Warped Tour is pretty unique because, we started when I think we'd been approached to play Warped Tour a couple times before the year we did, but we just didn't know if we aligned with it properly or if we could like offer what we needed to in that time. And then we were like, all right, this year makes sense, whatever, and we did it. And then immediately like we were just a pretty outrageous group of people on stage, and I think that in the beginning might have been like scratching their heads a bit like, oh fuck, like what did we do putting this band on this tour? And then I think maybe after a few moments of like, how is this going to work with months of this band doing what they do on stage, it then became like almost like this sense of endearment, like endearing sense of like with our relationship when we got to know the people that we were not only fans and friends, but also like people putting on the tour. We got to meet the people that were putting the tour together, which is like they were like, oh, they're not animals, they're people that actually care about music and performance, and we actually got quite close with a lot of people, and that was beautiful. And so to return to the Warped Tour after that being our only experience I think it's going to be a pretty I don't know, I think it's a pretty cool and like unusually beautiful thing.
Because it's a lot of times because festivals come and go. That's one of the things about life. We've seen so many festivals come and go over the years. So for that to come back, you guys to come back, it's a beautiful thing, and it's unexpected for the fans. How was the reaction for you guys, like on social media, because social media, you know, just keeps growing and growing and growing to a giant that we're not going to be able to control. We can't really control it now. But how's the reaction been announcing you guys are coming back from the fans? Because there's going to be fans that, you know, were little teenagers who couldn't go out to see a show, who are in their 20s now, 30s now, 40s now, if you want to say, that are actually going to get out to see you guys. Was that a little bit overwhelming, humbling? Like, what was that whole experience like?
Exciting.
Yeah.
I think that the countless amounts of comments, and I'm probably still even getting notifications on my phone. It was just so relentless, and I think the amount of love and support was just sometimes unbearable in a very beautiful way, of course, you know. And like, especially reflecting on Warped Tour, I'll always think about the set we had where the butterfly of all things landed on Jason's hand, you know. Yeah. And it was such a magical moment for all of us, and to be able to revisit all of it is, I personally, I feel very lucky to be able to do this, and to kind of even sit back and reflect on comments such as, you know, people are in their 40s now and they're like, we're going to bring our kids to come watch Let Live for the first time, and able to share that and everything we did with everybody, I think is so beautiful. And we're very, I mean, I can't speak for, I probably speak for everybody. We're so grateful and so fucking excited. Like,
yeah, grateful.
Crushed days, hours, and the minutes we have right now just to get there. Sometimes is me and Jean were on the phone for almost 2.5, 3 hours yesterday, talking about the time pass as fast as humanly possible to go and enjoy ourselves in our own realm and share it with all of our friends. So we're really excited.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. But and it's one of those things as well. And that's what I wanted to ask, because you kind of mentioned you're almost insufferable, you know, getting ready to put this tour together. How's it been being back in the room, just kind of jamming out again? Because you guys were known for your live shows. Like, is there just a bit more, you know, kind of stretching, getting warmed up, getting ready for this stuff when you're in the rehearsal room? You know, 8 years have passed, you know, the back and the knees aren't always the same as they used to be. How's rehearsal going? Let me just say that. How's rehearsal going for this tour?
Well, we're not in the gym trying to prep our bodies for the
Yeah, I think it's a lot of physical. You're right? Like, we've talked about that a lot. We're like the gym, running, meditation, calisthenics, yoga.
I think something like one of the coolest aspects for me personally was just the resurgence of all this, and how we kind of, I think we first started to kind of reconnect personally on a personal level. It could have been simple dinners, just to talk for an hour. I mean, you haven't seen each other in 7 years, and so much life has happened in individual journeys. So, and from there, I think it slowly progressed until, you know, we were in a room together, staring at one another, just kind of questioning, you know, what the levels of, how did this happen? How are we here right now? Like, this, everything aligns so naturally, and this is all organic. And I think we're just kind of, can I like reaping the benefits? Does that even make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
The universe kind of realigned all of us as individuals, even in this era of our lives. And I mean, we're just going with the flow and doing what we do. And I think naturally now, when we're sitting in a room, we're so comfortable and we're sharing, you know, it's, it's a lot, but a lot of positive and a lot of really great, we have a lot of really great moments when we're in rooms together, and we're thankful for that. So,
and it's a beautiful thing too, because I feel it needs to be up, and it just feels good to be back together, because we have seen reunion tours over the last couple of years, especially post-COVID, where bands have gotten on stage, and I won't mention them by name, but you might know, bands have gotten back on stage and a fight's broken out. They've been kicked off the tour like 3 shows in. So I think like you said before, Jason, it's more of the need more than the want. So the need to get back out there and do it, I think, is the passion that drives forward. And like I said, you guys are known for your live show. So I think the need needed to be there, because if the want was there just to do it for the sake of it, maybe that wouldn't translate to stage. Like, I don't know, but that's just my thought on it. What's your thought on that?
I mean, I think that's exactly what it has to be, right? Like, especially for something like Let Live that was predicated so strongly upon the way it feels, right? You know, I think that you mentioned the live show, us being so known for that, and I think that just has to do with the opportunity to exhibit, exchange, and deliver a type of energy that, you know, that you may not get elsewhere or otherwise. And so, yeah, man, I really just think that it has to be as sincere as possible. I just don't think Let Live can exist without this level of sincerity, this level of need and desire. And I think that is also why, you know, when we took a break, I think it was because we had to, again, we needed to realign, and we had our personal journeys will of course affect the collective journey. And so now that we're able to, as Jeff mentioned earlier, reconnect on this level, which was initially just us as people first, that actually is what led to this potential, and then the possibility, and then the happening that is us coming back to play music together live. It wasn't, we didn't do it with the idea that we were even going to play live again. We were just doing it to get together and hang out, and then we were just like fucking kicking it. And eventually that turned into, of course you're gonna reminisce, right? You've got so much of a past and history with each other, and then that sort of activated feelings, and then but also being able to place those feelings and memories upon the backdrop of our relationship now, what our relationship is now, made for a pretty cool idea for potential for us as a, you know, coming back live.
And speaking of coming back live as well, let's get to the important stuff, because we're here for a reason. I've obviously got the Aussie accent. You're coming down to Australia in September. How's that feel? You actually not only just getting back together and reminisce, share these memories, show the world again. You literally do get to show the world. You're coming all the way down to Australia. I know you're probably not looking forward to the flight. Thank you for putting up with the flight to get down here. But how's it feel to be, you know, you get this opportunity? Because a lot of bands who get back together and do reunion tours only get kind of like that run in their home country, or even, you know, in the terms of the States, you only get the West Coast or the East Coast. You're actually full-fledged going to the UK, America, Australia. Like, it's got to be exciting, man. But we're excited to have you back here. Like, how's that feel, and what are you excited for coming back down under?
Yeah, I mean, I personally always had a great time in Australia. You know, even like doing touring with the Deftones and just other shows in Australia. It's always been a great time. So I'm excited.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite of a surreal, I don't know why either. I remember when we first went to Australia, everything seemed so surreal. I don't know, maybe it's because we went and saw like kangaroos or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what made it so dreamlike, but it was like, it felt like we had reached another level when we got to Australia the first time. I think it had a lot to do with also the manner in which we arrived, because it was Soundwave first, right, guys? That was the first time we went. So, you know, you're like, you're in proximity with your favorite artists as an artist. You're staying in the same hotels as like fucking the Deftones or whoever, you know. You're riding in buses with, you know, Anthony Green, and like, these are just people that we have like loved and admired for so long. So I think this, like, being placed in that situation was so, you know, just sort of out of the realm of reality for us for so long, coupled with just like the weather, coupled with the attitude and the people and the fervor that Australians have for heavy music in particular. I think that was always really special. So it's cool to return with Let Live in particular. I think it's going to be fucking cool.
It's funny that you mentioned that Australians have the heavy music and the big live shows. It's funny because we are a chilled out kind of country. I don't know why we're so into these energetic live shows. Maybe it is because we're chilled out all the time. It's like when, you know, the light goes on and it's time to go, we just go, because it's just one of those things. When we get to these live shows, man, if you bring the energy, we're going to try and match it. So that's the big,
I love that.
That's the big thing. And is that a big thing that's important for you guys when you come back out? Because like I said, it's been a while. Is setting the bar with the energy like top priority when it comes coming out there? Because there's a reputation to live up to at the end of the day, I guess, with you guys.
We do what we do.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, we're just gonna do what we do. Yeah, it's always been that, isn't it? It's just like, I think that we don't have much expectation aside from being honest with ourselves and each other on stage. That's really it.
Yeah, it's always been that. It's always been that with us. I love that about us.
Organic.
That's the best word, organic. I think because it's organic, that's probably what translates most to the live crowd, because people can tell when someone's put something on or something seems too manufactured. So being organic I think is the key to making something really special. And I think for a lot of people coming out to see for the first time, like you mentioned before, people are going to bring their kids to these shows, man. That's got to be kind of surreal. As artists, you know, you're playing hundreds, thousands of shows over the years, watching that crowd and seeing, you know, the teenager that was there 10, 15 years ago, now bringing their kid there. Is that humbling at all? Like, what's that experience like to just kind of see your crowd grow with you and then see kids? I don't know. That's got to be a surreal experience at the end of the day.
Whole thing for sure.
Yeah.
15 little babies crowd surfing this time instead of adults.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's a testament to the groundwork and the sort of tenets that we laid down as a band, right? Like, we just wanted to create a culture, create a space where people could live and exist with this band, versus like the idea of this abstract idea of like band and fan. We just wanted to create a culture that was a collective and everyone involved, and so we can share experience, share energy, share the, you know, personal evolutions or revolutions, whether that be children's or graduations or peril in their lives, grieving, celebrating, like so I think it really just kind of speaks to that and shows that like that we were able to achieve that and accomplish it, and that is sustained over time.
And I'll ask a question, and I won't delve on this too much because it is more of a tour of getting back together and kind of celebrating. But getting in the rehearsal room and jamming out, was there ever I think My Chemical Romance did, just like, let's do one new song before we go back on the road. Was that ever a thought, or is that something in the back pocket, or is it more about a celebration of everything that's come and moving forward?
I mean, right now we're just focusing on like how we get this live show the best it can be, make sure that we're like, again, we personally, individually, and as a collective are good and prepared and sort of like positioned in a way where we can offer the most we can to people that want to come and receive it. You know, I mean, I think that, you know, again, for me personally, there's so much unpacking and disentangling that I have to do with myself, and understanding that Let Live provided me with, while Let Live provided me with such a space to emote, when I was not in Let Live, had so much work to do as a person in order to honor that emotional being that was on stage, and which is what I've been pretty much a lot of my journey the past 7 years. So, you know, for me personally, in order to like put pen to paper and write those sort of things, it will require me to do a lot of personal work to make sure I honor that, you know, like whatever that would look or feel like.
And that's a good thing too, because you don't want to ever force anything, because you can tell a lot of the time when people force something out. So if it happens organically, it happens organically. If it doesn't happen, maybe that was just meant to be at the end of the day as well. Yeah, I think that's an important part of it too. But boys, I know, thank you so much for joining me today. The time's just flown by, so I don't have a lot more time with you. But is there anything you want this in the next couple of weeks before this comes out? Is there any message you want to get out to the people? I'm going to make you all talk, so you can all go one by one before we let you go.
Yeah, go ahead, boys.
I'm just excited to see the fans and, you know, their newborn children at the show and having a good time, and just really trying to offer a new experience for people that want to be there and choose to be there. And just grateful to have a chance to share the stage with my friends again as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, always thankful here, of course. Super excited to kind of reconnect and be able to do this again. I think, you know, just reflecting on the impact that we had in our, you know, local and international communities just through Let Live alone it's really a wonderful thing, and you don't really recognize how much work, you know, got put into all of that while everything was in motion. But to be able to kind of take a step back, kind of, you know, as Jason was saying, kind of self-discover and figure out who you are as an individual, and just, you know, experiment with different paths in life was really beneficial for all of us. And just being able to redo this again in a very organic and natural way is Very, very great. We're so honored and excited. We can't wait to see you guys. Like, they're just words, but I wish you can feel the vibration under my in my skin right now. So very excited and can't wait. Thank you for still.
Yeah, just echoing what the boys have said, and also adding to it that this wouldn't be at all possible without the desire that everyone made quite clear over time, for a Let Live to exist in the first place and to return. So we're just really grateful and thankful, and are truly doing our best already to make sure we honor the energy that was given to us, that kind of woke us up, So just thank you guys so much.
Beautiful. Well said, boys. And look, your tour kicks off in June. You're going to be nice and warmed up come September for the Australian tour. I look forward to it. Gentlemen, have the best rest of your day. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Cheers, guys. Bye.